Croatian ambassador to Azerbaijan, Branko Zebic, started his career as an independent journalist. Since 1992, he has been working in the diplomatic sphere. Over the years, he has held various positions at the Croatian Ministry of Foreign and European Affairs, as well as at the country's embassies in Romania, Poland and Malaysia. Since 2019, he has been assigned to Azerbaijan, and since 2022, he has been performing diplomatic service in Georgia.
Mr. Zebic, it is a great pleasure to welcome you to our program. Your visit today as Croatian ambassador to Azerbaijan will give us the opportunity to learn more about the relations that are developing between our countries. Therefore, we thank you for joining us.
Thank you, Sevinç Hanım, for hosting me here for this interview, and with pleasure we will talk about bilateral relations between Azerbaijan and Croatia, and not only.
Mr. Ambassador, Croatia recognized Azerbaijan's independence back in 1991, a landmark gesture of solidarity. Do you think this early recognition laid the foundation for the long and prosperous diplomatic relations between our countries?
So 1991 is the year of recognition, mutual recognition of Croatia and Azerbaijan. This is the very important year not only for our two countries but for the many other countries. This is the historic period in Europe, you know, when many countries gain independence. So it's connected with the countries of the former Soviet Union, which gained independence in 1991, but as well as the countries which consist from former Yugoslavia. So this is the year of mutual recognition, and important when we talk about Croatia and Azerbaijan and recognition. And it's important to recall this time because we recognized each other during the war. So we have the similar modern history. So Azerbaijan and Croatia started their independence through bloody wars, you know, and this was important to recognize and to emphasize.
The establishment of official diplomatic relations in 1995 was the beginning of our bilateral relations. What do you see as the main achievements of Azerbaijani-Croatian relations?
Someone can ask himself, even I was asking himself, why was the 4 years needed between recognition, mutual recognition and diplomatic relations? So it seems strange, you know, because diplomatic relations between Azerbaijan and other Central European countries look much quicker, 1992, 1993. And the answer is simple, you know. As I said already, we were defending our territorial integrity. We were engaged in the bloody wars, Croatia and Azerbaijan. And probably this is the reason that we didn't have time to establish diplomatic relations. It was the struggle for survival in Azerbaijan and in Croatia, and we both succeeded.
Mr. Ambassador, one of the key milestones in establishing relations was the Zagreb Declaration, signed in 2013. This strategic partnership has shaped the dynamics of cooperation between Azerbaijan and Croatia, especially in areas such as economy, security, and diplomacy. Could you tell us about this in detail?
Our intensive bilateral cooperation started in this century, 21st century, especially when, from 2003, when President Aliyev replaced Honorable Father Kaidar Aliyev. And I remember very well that President told me during my delivering credentials that he had excellent relations with all Croatian presidents. That's true, you know, and this is the base of our bilateral relations. And so after this year and early first decades of 21st century, so our bilateral relations were developing. And in 2011, Azerbaijani government opened the embassy in Zagreb. 2013, this is a historic moment, we signed the declaration on strategic partnership between Croatia and Azerbaijan. And 2019, there was the opening of the Croatian embassy in Baku. These are milestones of our bilateral relations, and I'm proud to say that I am the first Croatian ambassador in Azerbaijan in history.
Cənab səfir, beynəlxalq platformalar çərçivəsində əməkdaşlıq
Our
əlaqələrinizi
cooperation on international platforms, especially within the United Nations and the European Union's Eastern Partnership Programme, is strong. Can you tell us how Azerbaijan and Croatia support each other in the international arena and which strategic goals are prioritized?
strateji hədəflərin prioritet olduğunu deyə bilərsinizmi?
International platforms of our cooperations are also very important. So we are very successful in cooperation in the framework of the United Nations. We traditionally support each other for different candidatures, and we are really successful in that. But there are other platforms also, international, that are very important. For example, we are one of the 10 strategic partners of Azerbaijan in the European Union. And also, I think that that Azerbaijan is considering Croatia as one of the really friends in the European Union. And it's not by chance that last year, when the bilateral relation between European and Azerbaijan were at a quite low level, Prime Minister of Croatia, Plenković, visited Azerbaijan at the time. It was in the November 2023. So, few weeks after your military action in Karabakh, when you gained full territorial integrity and sovereignty over the whole Azerbaijani territory, it was the Croatian Prime Minister that visited Azerbaijan, and this visit was not only bilateral, it was also a visit of one of the members of the European Council to Azerbaijan, to have these bridges open, to have Azerbaijan in cooperation with European Union, which is very important for European Union, but also for Azerbaijan as a country with multi-vector foreign policy.
Bildiyiniz kimi IT, enerji və infrastruktur kimi sahələrdə
Croatian companies operating in Azerbaijan in the IT, energy, and infrastructure sectors deserve special attention. In addition, Croatia's experience in demining is also of great importance for the reconstruction efforts underway in Karabakh. Could you please tell us more about Croatia's role in these areas and how these projects are affecting post-conflict reconstruction?
bərpaya necə təsir etdiyi barədə ətraflı məlumat verə bilərsinizmi?
IT sector is also very important sector for our bilateral relations. So we have several IT companies present here in Azerbaijan, and just few days ago there was also a visit of IT sector to Zagreb. From Zagreb they informed me. So we have several contracts, several Croatian companies already made several contracts with Azerbaijani counterparts, and this is really fruitful and good sector for cooperation, maybe one of the best one. The other what I would like to emphasize, it's also connected somehow with IT. We are advanced in the technology for demining actions, for demining generally, and we cooperate with Azerbaijan. You know our situation that we had mined territory more or less the same size as Karabakh. It took us almost 30 years to demine this territory, and we have, of course, a great experience in that. Right now, there are 5 dog handlers in Croatia. This is humanitarian development assistance to Azerbaijan. During the mentioned visit of Prime Minister of Plenković in November last year, he promised to President Aliyev 80 dogs, 8 trained dogs to find mines. And this project is implementing now in final stage. These trained dogs were waiting for the 5 Azerbaijani dog handlers. So they are right now for I think 4 weeks already, and in a few weeks they will be back with Croatian dogs.
Davamlı münasebetlerin
In addition to economic cooperation, cultural ties are also important for building sustainable relations. What initiatives are being implemented to develop tourism and cultural exchange between our countries against the backdrop of Croatia being a popular tourist destination and attracting the attention of Azerbaijan as a cultural center?
geçirirsiniz?
So people-to-people contacts are important. This is very close to our to the thematic of tourism cooperation. You know, that's actually my intention as ambassador to raise this tourism fluctuation of people is more because of the people-to-people contacts than to revenues from the tourism. We don't have problem with revenues of tourism. You know that Croatia is the favorite tourist destination. We have 20 million tourists per year. So my goal is not to have 21 million. My goal is people to people. So through tourism to have more contacts in different spheres of possible cooperation. That's why tourism is important. I mean, that's why it's people-to-people contact important. Regarding the cultural cooperation, there are some obstacles, unfortunately, you know, and it's mainly a money issue because to have cultural projects in destinations that are far away, it's very expensive. Despite of that fact, we succeeded to have several exhibitions in Baku, and also several ensembles, so musical performances in Baku. As well, my colleague in Zagreb are very active on this field. I remember last year the great exhibition of carpets on one of the main squares in Croatia, and several others also with Mugham music. And so cultural cooperation is going on, but it's not on the level that we would like because of the problem of financing big cultural events.
Mr. Zebic, we thank you for the interesting conversation. I'm hopeful that what we talked about will lead to even more robust and advantageous cooperation between our nations. We thank you for your time and wish success to your mission in Azerbaijan.
da uğurlar arzuluyoruz.
Thank you very much, Sevinç Hanım. It was my pleasure talking to you, and I take this opportunity to greet your spectators of the Baku TV. My pleasure being here for years, so I have some insights about Azerbaijan and about our bilateral relations, which are flourishing really.